It's a known fact that, before the original game, Dr. Richard Trager worked in the psychology department of the game's asylum. He also held the position of business developer at Mount Massive, where he met Jeremy Blair, with whom he maintained a great friendship. The large money he amassed working for the Murkoff Corporation allowed him to afford certain luxuries, such as a wine cellar in his home and a small stash of cocaine that he secretly stored in his studio. Outlast, the Murkoff account also reveals the sexual abuse suffered by several Trager employees, ranging from the maid, Denise, to several other Murkoff workers at the hospital. When Paul Marion and Pauline Glick went to his home, in a state of alert after an employee of Choro Trager had sent an email talking about Murkoff's underdealings, Rick refused to acknowledge that there could be a snitch among his men. Under the light of that pretense, Glick decided to investigate Trager more closely, only to end up being drugged with flunitrazepam. The mitigation department took it upon themselves to take Michelle Haas to a hospital, fearing she would be taken to an abortion clinic. Upon getting there, they were intercepted by Trager, who attacked the woman with scissors. Shortly after, he was arrested and taken back to Mount Massive Psychiatric Hospital. This time, however, he was a patient. Upon arriving at the asylum, Dr. Trager is mentioned only a few times throughout the game. When Miles is caught by him, just as he escapes from his henchman via the forklift, he catches him a floor above and ties him to a wheelchair. In that same place, Trager grabs large pliers and amputates the index finger of Miles' right hand and the ring finger of his left one. Trager exits the scene, leaving Miles alone. Struggling against the wheelchair, Miles manages to free himself and makes it to the elevator. Miles looks for a key on that floor of the male ward and ends up getting chased several times by Trager, who was armed with a pair of scissors. A metal fence blocked by a gas cylinder truck separates the wing in which Upshur is located from the elevator. Once the obstacle is removed, Miles notices that the elevator requires a key to operate. Trager had followed him. To evade him, Miles marches through the intricate corridors of the ward to take refuge in a ventilation shaft, searching for the key to the elevator. Trager, in the meantime, had started to break open the door next to it. Miles Upshur turns around, facing the direction of the conduit, ducks into a bathroom stall in the corner, and waits for Trager to come closer before stepping over it again and heading back to where the key was. Upon getting there, he goes through a door destroyed by Trager and reaches the elevator. When he manages to make it work, it begins to descend until Trager intercepts him on a lower floor. Miles still manages to defend himself from his attacker and pushes him off, leaving the doctor with half of his torso in the elevator, crushed between the floor of the building and the ceiling of the machine. In the Outlast Whistleblower expansion, Trager reappears but is already dead on the ground as several agents from Murkoff's tactical division examine his corpse. They indirectly blame Upshur and pin the murder on him. Trager is a very optimistic and kind man, constantly making jokes without losing his composure. Like the rest of the inmates of the asylum, Rick shows symptoms of psychosis and that he enjoys punishing other people. His mental capacity seems to operate in a highly superior and functional way to the rest of the inmates in the asylum, which is another proof that he still has a good grasp of the reality around him. Because of this, he can think, plan, and even lure Miles to enter the forklift. In the comic Outlast, the Murkoff account, Trager indicates that he is of Italian origins and has a large wine bar in his home, offering Pauline one of his favorite wines. The fact that the doctor is constantly obsessed with making money and profits shows how the Walrider project and the morphogenetic engine couldn't deteriorate his mind completely. He knows how to maintain his amiable personality and can easily fool victims before harvesting their organs and limbs, hoping to make money from the subsequent sale of those parts. On several occasions, he uses friendly and taunting terms to refer to Miles. It's one of the many aspects about him that show his true intelligence. Despite being in his early 40s, Trager looks a lot older, due in large part to his haggard appearance and bony torso. In Outlast, the Murkoff account, Trager appeared with graying hair slicked back, wearing a pink shirt accompanied by a blue sweater. His jovial and seductive appearance became older over the years in the underground laboratory as a test subject for the Murkoff Corporation. He only managed to escape when the inmates escaped, which allowed him time and space to perform his operations. When Miles met Richard Trager, he made comments on his attire. It's a tight-fitting white suit with several silver bracket-type connections around the neck, complemented by sequins. It has a silver belt from which a skirt with loose layers in tulle emerges. And the right side is complemented by a tail that exceeds the lower length, made with a combination of white tulle and silver applications. To this day, Dr. Richard Trager remains one of the most memorable characters of the series.